Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining and welcome back. Our guest today is Gentry Gevers. Gentry has amassed a following of about 200,000 members on his Instagram that discusses politics, business, and daily news. Welcome to the channel.
Thanks for having me, Ivan. I appreciate it. This is gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I wanted to get you down to talk about everything that's happening right now in politics and, all the geopolitical issues happening in the world. But first, let's start off with, what are your thoughts right now on Trump? A lot of people are, not agreeing with him so much on what's happening between the Israel and the Iran situation. And then you have a lot of people who are saying, you know what, I voted for this. What are your thoughts right now on Trump?
It's not as divided as you think it is. It's just that the people who are super anti-Israel are really, really loud, especially on X. And X is kind of an anomaly because that's where news breaks, right? There's been a huge shift that's happened. So the mainstream media goes to X now to find out what's happening, right? There's a whole bunch of journalists, whole bunch of reporters on there. So I don't think that the Republican base is as divided as you think. I think it's probably like 80-20 or 90-10. There's a ton of people who are ecstatic that Iran doesn't have any nuclear weapons now. And, they're probably going to rebuild. So we're probably going to see this conflict happen again in like 5-10 years. But I think everyone can agree that a country like that should not have any of those types of weapons because they're just nefarious, right? I mean, it'd be like, your neighbor that's a drug dealer, and you're like, hey, I'm pretty sure they have, XYZ thing, and they're getting into arms, and they're gonna do this, and they're gonna do that, and the police just don't do anything about it. Well, Trump did something about it. So I think that he has earned a lot of trust from his first term. We do have a short memory, so like we're only gonna really remember what happened in the last few days. But if you think back to, 8 years ago when he first became president and he was saying like, we're not going to have endless wars, but also Iran can't have any nukes, you kind of see that he's been unbelievably consistent. And even with him, attacking Iran and taking out Soleimani in his first term, like there wasn't a huge endless war after that. Like it was
Right.
just one and done. I think Trump thinks in leverage, right? So he's like, do I have the leverage? How much leverage do I have? Because I want to make a deal. And that's what we're seeing right now. Like his, excuse my French, his big dick moment caused, the UK and the UN to say, hey, like we actually want to make a trade deal.
Right.
And through all of his, chess moves, China, I guess they signed a trade deal today. Um, so, I mean, there's a whole bunch of really, really good stuff happening.
Hello, my fellow silver and gold stacker. I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching the channel. Subscribe, please like the video, and also hit the notification bell. Keep stacking. What's your biggest concern right now, Gentry? Whether you're looking at politics or even geopolitical or even in the economy, whether it's bonds, interest rates, the debt levels. What's your biggest concern right now that you're keeping an eye on?
My biggest concern right now, I think, is the deportation efforts that have been blocked by a ton of these judges and Democratic political operatives, really, because that's what they are. The Supreme Court just kind of wiped all that out today. I don't know if you saw, but Supreme Court had a tremendous Friday. They basically said that, hey, district courts can't stop Trump from doing anything nationally. You
Wow.
really only have jurisdiction locally. Um, I think people underestimate the impact that deporting 1 million to 10 million to 20 million illegal immigrants in the US is actually going to have on people's pocketbooks, because there's going to be a whole bunch more supply and a lot less demand. And we know when that happens, prices go down,
Right.
right? So like if we so let's just put some like rough numbers out there, right? So let's think about Los Angeles, right? So if there is 1 million people who are living illegally in the US in LA, let's say that they have 100 to 150,000 homes or apartments or whatever you call it. If you
Right.
take all those people out, so, all of a sudden there's a vacuum, and so that vacuum has to be filled. And there's probably going to be opportunities for people to move closer to work, closer to this, that, and the other thing. And because there's a whole bunch of supply, prices are going to go down. We're seeing that a little bit in the real estate market right now. I've got a handful of friends that are realtors in Charlotte, North Carolina, where I live, and they're seeing that like houses are stuck on the market
Right.
for a long time, and there's more price reductions right now than new houses on the market. People are waiting to see what's going to happen with all this stuff. So I think it's going to be like the biggest thing I'm looking at is Trump's agenda, um, deportations. The other thing I'm looking at is JPOW and the interest rates. It seems like he's not moving it like we thought it was going to move. There
Right.
was a ton of speculation earlier this year that there's going to be three interest rates drops, right?
Right.
And then JPOW confirmed that there was going to be two. We thought there was going to be one about a week ago, and he said it was going to remain steady. Now, I'm not an economist, so I don't want to pretend like I know everything.
Right.
I do know that Trump has been right a whole heck of a lot, and I do know that the housing market is in a standstill because people are trying to move, but people can't afford houses right now. A large majority of people can't afford houses. And so I think what's potentially going to happen is Jerome Powell is going to have to lower interest rates. I don't think he wants to because he's trying to make it very political,
Right.
uh, which is interesting because if he's making it political, in my mind, that means he knows that dropping interest rates will actually have a positive effect and it'll look positively on Trump. So there's this whole political game, and the average everyday citizen is getting caught up in the middle of it, and it kind of pisses me off
Yeah.
because it kind of seems like in the olden days when the kings were feuding, and then they sent their men into battle, and the guys were like, why are we fighting over this stupid thing? So
Yeah.
Welcome to the Cayman Islands, a premier offshore jurisdiction where natural beauty meets financial stability. Here, your wealth is more than secure. It thrives in one of the most trusted and respected financial centers in the world. For over a decade, SWP has been the trusted choice for precious metal investors worldwide. Our purpose-built 6,000 square foot facility sets a new standard in precious metals storage. We are proud to be one of the only vault operators approved by the London Bullion Market Association. Beyond safeguarding your assets, we're committed to making a difference in our community by supporting local causes and events that reflect our values. As we continue to expand and innovate our services, we ensure that your wealth is safe and strategically positioned to shield you from the uncertainties that lie ahead. Strategic wealth preservation, trusted today and ready for tomorrow.
No, no, you absolutely nailed it, Gentry. And a lot of people are talking online. Like I see so many videos on Instagram where you see a lot of people from the left who are promoting doxing like ICE agents, and they're promoting like, assassination of Donald Trump. And can you speak to that? Is it just they're so brainwashed, or what are your thoughts?
I think that I think they need to be punched in the face. So here's, and I'm not trying to say that, they don't have the freedom to say that. I think there are limits in our First Amendment, uh, but there's relatively zero consequences for filming and posting a video online.
Right.
And before social media, like if you went and ran your mouth and this is the example I have all the time. Like you have the freedom to say whatever you want, but if you go run your mouth at a bar and get punched in the face, like that's just natural consequences
Yeah.
of your actions. So like it's not the government shutting you down. But I think these people are keyboard warriors.
Yeah.
They're posting videos of just, and it's actually insane. The kind of people that would think it's a good idea to record this video to dox ICE agents or to call for the, 86 of the president of the United States. It just like
Yeah. It's crazy.
those people have a ton of problems. They probably need to have, they probably need to have a little bit more friends. They probably need to go to church. They probably just need a hug and shit. Like, listen, you're not okay, but it's okay. And, those people are strange.
Yeah.
I don't understand them. I'm not positive that we can win them over to our way of thinking. And I think what they're doing actually is a net positive because they are exposing the wildest ideas that the radical left has
Yeah.
to everyone, and we amplify them, right? We post them, and so everyone sees it. And I think it's good because there's actually less of a divide in the US than people realize because there's so many smart people. It's just that the left has had this marketing apparatus that has shown us that that the right is a bunch of these radical lunatics that,
Yeah.
want to indoctrinate everything. But um now that X is free and social media is way more, I don't know if you've noticed this, but social media is way more free after the inauguration.
Oh yeah.
Um, so I think, what they're doing is a net positive because we can repost those videos and make them go mega viral and show everyone how crazy they are.
Yeah, no, you absolutely nailed it. Now, before you go, I really want people to connect with you. I'm going to put your Instagram in the link below. I know you also have a newsletter as well. Where can people follow you? Is it just Instagram? Is there more accounts?
Yeah, Instagram is probably the best place. I post on Facebook, I post on Threads, I post on X, I post on TikTok, but the main channel is Instagram.
Awesome. Well, I want to thank you so much for coming down to speaking to the whole community. And as everything develops this year, geopolitically, even in the economy, I'd love to have you back on because it's been a huge pleasure.
Oh, totally, man. That'd be great. Thanks,
Ta-
Ivan.
Talk to you soon.